All right, I got the new case sitting here and I just cut the other one out. I'm about to mock up the bracket here, or the mount. And I cut the drive shaft, the little stub shaft out, and now it is just a little, just a universal sitting there. So now the case should be almost perfectly center in the truck, and the drive shafts should be close to, if not the same length on both ends. So right now I am putting the transfer case mount in. I've been checking for plumb level, square, all that good stuff. The engine and transmission is like 4.5 inches to the passenger side, something like that. But I want the center of the bottom of the transfer case to be center. So I have these two lower bars just tacked in at the moment, and I'm about to bolt the transfer case in, or try to anyways. I'm by myself, so pray for my back. All right, ready to bolt this thing in, put some oil in it, test drive it, pull it out, paint it. Not the case, but everything else. So, and I got to put some brakes on it, but we're getting there. All right, so I whipped up a caliper stand sitting inside of here. Has pieces of plate that make contact for a long distance across the transfer case mount, and angle finder is at the same angle as the truck, so the calipers are square with the truck, even though the transfer case is not level, so it ought to bleed just fine. So I've got to get me some more of these unions to make my brake lines work, but I'm gonna tack this in. I'm gonna weld it all out probably tomorrow because the wind is blowing, and this thing will have brakes again. I'm about to bleed the brakes. Got my nephew Kane over here helping me prep the wheels. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these brakes bled. We got brakes, homie. Beautiful, so beautiful. Excuse all the noise, but I have been notching all these tubes with this Diablo blade on a skill saw, and it works fantastic. So I'm just putting a few cross members in here. I have this X bracing in the bottom of the chassis, and that tube goes just straight across here. I'm doing one on the front and the back, and I put those in. These X braces in the top. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'll sandblast all this, tear it apart, and paint it. So figured I'd share that I'm notching these tubes with a Diablo blade on a skill saw. Crazy. So I'm trying to hurry up and get done for this weekend, take it to Iron Horse, but I just sprayed all of the chassis and axles, everything with degreaser, and I am about to soda blast all of this, as long as my pressure washer and all that acts right today. So just a little update. Sorry for shaking you guys around, but before I start this, figured I'd show you what it looks like now. Not that it'll look any different after, but we'll see. Well, I have been sanding and pressure washing with my soda blast siphon sandblaster for the past 3 hours, and I really screwed up by not painting this a lot sooner, but I was able to get, it doesn't look it, but the metal is super clean, and all the scale, the little bit that had gotten on it, is all gone. So although it doesn't look like it, it's clean and it's smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it dry tonight. First thing in the morning, I'm gonna start masking it all off, and then I will get it in primer hopefully tomorrow, and then the next day I will shoot it with color. I have not decided what color I'm painting this, so it'll be a surprise for both of us.
Don't fall.
It'd be the second time I felt sick. First time I broke the butt cheek.
Oh boy. He ain't lying. He has a bruised butt.
Oh, I got so damn lucky.
Just made it.
Just enough. Hey, I don't even have to trim this side. Well, I got to trim the fender though.
You run across the tires and everything like it's a jungle gym.
Used to be an iron worker.
Ah.
Holy moly, I'm wore out just from taping, and I haven't even started yet. Oh, good Lord. Don't be like me. Paint yours before you put it all together. I put this all together, I'm like, oh, it's just mocked up. And then now I don't want to take it apart. Plus, I'm trying to make it to an event this weekend that may or may not happen. We'll find out. All right, so I have a epoxy primer. It's a direct to metal primer. I'm gonna spray on all of this, and the window to paint over top of it is 24 hours. Even though the metal don't look super clean, it looks rusty, I can promise you it's very clean. I sprayed it with a hydro blaster and wax and grease remover, sandpaper, all kind of stuff. It's as smooth as it gets, and yeah, I'm gonna try to get it all painted tonight. Well, primed tonight, and if it don't rain and ruin everything I did, I'm going to spray base coat, clear coat on everything in the morning. Now, I still haven't decided what colors I'm going with, but I'll just figure it out as I do it, so who knows. All right, so last night, late, I finally finished priming this thing. It was really hard to do in the dark, so I gave up, even though the wind was dying down. And of course, painting at night, I couldn't see very good, so obviously I got some holidays, but really that's the only spot that I see that I missed. So I'm gonna go through all my paint and see what I've got. I couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about all the different options, all the things that I could do. So I'm gonna go through my little shelf of goodies and see what I've got, see what I can create. And I think I'm out of reducer, so I'm gonna run to the paint store real quick, get that, and see what I can come up with. Goodness, this damn wind. I don't have high expectations because it's kind of cold today and the wind is blowing, so it's liable to have trash in it. But I may throw some bass boat flake in this, and I'm not putting 10 coats of clear and buffing it to a shine, so it might look kind of gritty with bass boat flake in it anyways. But at the end of the day, it's a mud truck, so just make it a little bit flashy whenever it's clean with some lights on it. It might have a little bit of pop to it. I don't know. We'll see what I can come up with. I'll experiment before I just go throwing it on this thing. And besides, it's all being painted together, so I don't want it to look stupid if it's all that color, but then again, it might actually look kind of cool. Either way, it's better than spray paint, which is what's on most of these trucks, and I can do better than that, so we'll see what it turns into. Here I have 3 different size flakes, pearls and flake. So this is bass boat flake. I have had this for the better side of 10 years, maybe more, and I picked this up. This is some, I don't know, medium. This is still extremely coarse, but this is probably the middle of these 3. So I've got all 3 of these, and then this is pearl. This will only show up in the sunlight. Ooh! Where'd that sunspot go? Oh yeah. Let's do it. Oh, holy crap. Oh, hell with it. Let's put some more. Good Lord. Holy crap. No, that's some serious flake. Guys, the color is pretty cool. It looks even better in person, but the bass boat flake, it's pretty badass. I can't complain. Spraying it in the wind outside and it being cold. Tri-stage base coat, clear coat. I just sprayed, I think, 6 gallons of paint. Wait a minute, maybe more than that. Holy cow, I don't want to think about it. I have way too much money in paint for it not to look any better than it does. Wow. Anyways, today is Thursday, unfortunately. I tried to get it done yesterday so that I could be at Iron Horse hopefully Friday, but tomorrow morning I'm gonna slap this thing together, throw the transfer case in it, throw the drive shafts and the steering cylinders, all that back on it, and try to purge out the steering, the hydraulic fluid through the steering as good as I can so that I can take it out. Hopefully this thing's all good to go now. If not, we'll find the weak link. I don't know if I want to bog it just yet because this paint is so fresh, it will definitely print and stain the paint. But who knows? I can't not get it dirty. I don't know, we'll see what happens. And just like that, this thing is pretty much all buttoned back up. All I have left is to purge the power steering out. So now that it's movable, I'm about to pull it forward and turn the wheel back and forth and try to keep topping it off. But man, I like it. I rerouted the hoses so that I can use my pull points a little bit better. All right, so we just got the power steering all purged out, airing up the tire because it's low, but I started to drive it and it was only going, I don't know, like 2 miles an hour in first gear. It's like, man, this thing's super low geared. I forgot that I had the truck's transfer case in low, so it took me about 15 minutes or so to figure out how to get it back into 4 high or 2 high. Hell, it could be in 4 high, I don't know, but either way, it is in high now, so I'm about to test drive it as soon as we get this tire aired up. Too bad the sun's not out. All right, so after the test drive, I'm glad I test drove it because the truck's transfer case, I took the gear selector off of it so that I could put it in low, because the truck not having a front drive shaft with the hub locking deal to lock it in four-wheel drive, the truck would not go into four-wheel drive low with the old transfer case. So now it keeps popping into neutral while I'm driving, so I'm going to put the gear selector back on and leave it on there even unplugged, and that should hold it in two-wheel drive or in high, not necessarily two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, because that used to be determined by the front axle. Anyways, so I'm gonna do that now, and then Shane is on his way for us to load this thing and head to Iron Horse.